And this is Luke chapter 19, verses 45 through to 48. Jesus entered the temple and began to drive out those who were selling, saying to them, "It is written, and my house shall be a house of prayer, and you have made it a robber's den." And he was teaching daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the leading men among the people were trying to destroy him, and they could not find anything that they might do, for all the people were hanging on to every word he said. So Jesus has come in to Jerusalem, and the first thing he does is to go into the temple, and he begins to drive out those, it says here, those who were selling. And he says, "It is written, my house, my temple shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a robber's den." In some of the other Gospels, it says, "You have made it a house of merchandise." In Isaiah 56, it says these words. It says, "Also the foreigners who join themselves to the Lord to minister to him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone who keeps from profaning the Sabbath and holds fast my covenant, even those I will bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices will be acceptable on my altar, for my house will be called a house of prayer for all the nations." This is what God desires. This is what God desires in his house, that it be a place of prayer. And Jesus says, you've made it a place where you think that you can get more money. And Jesus said that these people were selling things. They weren't robbing people in the real name of understanding of robbery. They weren't stealing. They weren't pickpocketing people's money, but they were taking money off people. And Jesus says, when you do that in the place of God's presence, when you demand payment, here Jesus is saying it's robbery. We need to be so careful with money when we are in God's house and in God doing God's work, about taking money, about asking for money. Because here Jesus says, these people who were taking the money, Jesus said, you are robbers. You are robbing God's people. How we need to take seriously the word of God when Jesus says, you've turned my house into a house of robbers, and I want it to be a house of prayer for all the nations. And no wonder the priests, this is their living, this is how they're getting rich. They're ready to destroy him. But the people, they were just loving him and hanging on his every word.